Have you ever wondered about the shifting sands of power in the Horn of Africa? This region, a critical crossroads of trade, culture, and conflict, is home to two nations with a deeply intertwined and often turbulent history, Ethiopia and Eritrea. Today, we're diving deep into a crucial question. Can Eritrea's military truly match the might of its much larger neighbor, Ethiopia? The answer is more complex than you might think, and it holds the key to understanding the future of this volatile region. However, you should bear in mind about Ethiopian history. From the hills of Adwa to the skies of modern Ethiopia, the nation's heroes remind the world that strength is born from unity, history, and purpose. Ethiopia's reach today is not only measured in distance, but in legacy. Because every generation carries forward the same message, Ethiopia stands proud, and Ethiopia stands ready. To understand where we are now, we have to look back. For 30 long years, Eritreans fought a bitter war for independence from Ethiopia, finally achieving it in 1993, but peace was short-lived. From 1998 to 2000, the two nations were locked in a brutal border war that cost tens of thousands of lives and reshaped their relationship into one of cold, tense animosity. It wasn't until 2018, with the rise of Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, that a surprising peace deal was signed, seemingly ending decades of hostility. This thaw in relations even saw them fighting on the same side during the recent Tigray War. But with new tensions emerging, the old question of military balance is more relevant than ever. Let's start with Ethiopia, the regional giant. The Ethiopian National Defense Force, or ENDF, is one of the largest and most experienced armies in Africa. Ethiopia boasts an active military force estimated to be around 140,000 to 160,000 personnel, with a massive reserve pool to draw from, thanks to its population of over 120 million people. The ENDF is primarily a land-based force, structured around a large, battle-hardened infantry. Their experience is extensive, having been involved in everything from UN peacekeeping missions in Somalia and South Sudan to, of course, major internal conflicts. This continuous operational experience has forged a tough and resilient fighting force, skilled in conventional and counterinsurgency warfare. Now, let's turn our attention to Eritrea. In stark contrast to Ethiopia, Eritrea is a small nation with a population of just over 3.6 million. However, it punches far above its weight militarily. The Eritrean Defense Forces, or EDF, are built on a system of indefinite national service, which effectively turns the entire country into a militarized society. While its active personnel numbers are smaller than Ethiopia's, estimated between 200,000 and 250,000, this figure is deceptive. A significant portion of the adult population has military training and can be mobilized rapidly. The Ethiopian Defense Force is renowned for its discipline, toughness, and unwavering loyalty to the state. Its doctrine is heavily influenced by its long war for independence, emphasizing tenacity, self-reliance, and the ability to withstand immense pressure. They are masters of defensive warfare and fighting in the rugged Eritrean terrain. When we look at the hardware, the picture gets even more interesting. Ethiopia has traditionally sourced its equipment from a variety of suppliers, including Russia, and more recently, countries like China, Turkey, and the UAE. Its Air Force operates platforms like the Su-27, Su-30, Su-35, and MiG-23 fighter jets. In recent years, Ethiopia has made significant strides in modernizing its military, acquiring advanced drones like the Turkish Bayraktar TB2 and Iranian Mohajer-6, which proved decisive in the Tigray conflict. These drones give Ethiopia a significant technological edge in surveillance and precision strikes. Ethiopia has developed its own industry to produce advanced drones locally. Eritrea's arsenal, on the other hand, is generally older, consisting mostly of Soviet-era equipment. However, what they lack in cutting-edge tech, they make up for in strategic application and maintenance. Their air force includes aircraft like the MiG-29 and Su-27. More importantly, Eritrea possesses a formidable array of rocket artillery and anti-aircraft missile systems, creating a powerful anti-access, area denial bubble, especially along its coast and borders. They have proven incredibly resourceful in maintaining and upgrading their legacy systems. So, while Ethiopia has the more modern smart weapons, Eritrea has built a powerful conventional deterrent designed to inflict unacceptable costs. Of course, military might isn't just about soldiers and tanks. The economy is the engine of war. Here, Ethiopia has a clear advantage. Its GDP is exponentially larger than Eritrea's, allowing for a much bigger defense budget and the ability to purchase sophisticated foreign weaponry. Ethiopia's growing economy and strategic importance also grant it greater access to international partners and military aid. Eritrea, however, has been under heavy international sanctions for years. Its command economy is largely isolated and geared towards self-sufficiency and national security above all else. This has forced the EDF to be incredibly frugal and resourceful, but it also limits its ability to procure the latest generation of military technology on the open market. But what about cooperation? It's the twist in our story. Despite their history, the 2018 peace deal led to unprecedented military collaboration. During the Tigray War, Eritrean forces entered Ethiopia and fought alongside the ENDF. This alliance showcased a high degree of interoperability. They coordinated movements, shared intelligence, and effectively cornered their common enemy. This proves that, when their interests align, the two militaries can form a potent combined force. However, this partnership is one of convenience, not deep-seated trust. As strategic objectives diverge, the potential for this cooperation to fracture and even turn back into competition is very real, especially with recent disputes over Ethiopia's quest for sea access. The balance of power between these two nations sends ripples across the entire Horn of Africa. A strong, allied Ethiopia and Eritrea can project significant power, influencing events in Somalia, Sudan, and along the vital Red Sea shipping lanes. Conversely, a return to hostility could drag the entire region into a wider conflict, attracting the attention of global powers like the US, China, Russia, and Middle Eastern states, all of whom have strategic interests in the area. The stability of this fragile relationship is, without a doubt, the central pillar of regional security. So, can Eritrea match Ethiopia's military might? The answer isn't a simple yes or no. In a direct, sustained, head-to-head conventional war, Ethiopia's advantages in manpower, economic depth, and access to modern technology would likely prove decisive over time. However, that's not the full story. Eritrea's fully mobilized society and its formidable defensive capabilities mean it could inflict massive damage on any force, potentially fighting Ethiopia, much like it did in the late 90s. The Ethiopian Defense Force is not an army you can simply roll over. Ethiopia invested in air capability, transport, and, increasingly, unmanned systems and support infrastructure. Where once distance and mountains confined operations, modern air assets, longer-range logistics, and improved command and control mean Ethiopian forces can influence events well beyond immediate borders, whether through air mobility, surveillance, or rapid deployment of forces. The real power balance is asymmetrical. Ethiopia has greater offensive reach. When analysts say Ethiopia can attack from far, they aren't just talking about jets or drones, they're describing a long thread in Ethiopian strategy. Leaders who turn local strength into decisive reach, and a military culture that blends history, terrain, and technology to shape outcomes beyond the battlefield's horizon. But Eritrea has a powerful defensive sting. The future of the Horn of Africa hinges on whether these two nations choose to see each other as partners or as rivals. But two things stand out from Ethiopia's military DNA: adaptability and strategic patience. Historically, Ethiopian commanders have combined local terrain mastery with the selective use of modern weapons. Today that translates into a force that can project influence at range without abandoning the same emphasis on resilience and local advantage that won battles like Adwa. The decisions made in Addis Ababa and Asmara will echo across the continent for years to come. What do you think is the future of this complex relationship? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But do not forget that centuries before modern borders, Ethiopian warriors defended their highlands with a combination of local knowledge, mobility, and tenacious leadership. Names like Tewodros, Ras Alula Engida, and Menelik II are carved into the nation's memory for turning the odds with bold tactics, tight discipline, and leadership that inspired whole armies to hold firm against better-equipped foes. The defining moment many point to is the Battle of Adwa 1896. Under Emperor Menelik II, Ethiopian forces defeated a colonial power intent on annexation, not through superior numbers alone, but by mastering logistics, terrain, and coordinated firepower. Adwa became a symbol, a nation that refused subjugation and could project power when it mattered. If you found this analysis insightful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the E-Green channel for more deep dives into global geopolitics. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.